moving forward. Okay, thank you. Next is the RIDE school safety announcement regarding firearms in schools, which was a request from our last meeting to have the superintendent advise with them.
Right. So the commissioner sent out a memo about 2 weeks ago, followed by an announcement from the governor, which she said was going to clarify the commissioner's memo, which was, she was saying that she was going to supersede the law and outlaw all concealed weapons from school. That's created a whole flurry of now conversations throughout the Superintendent's Association. So the only update I have is that, publicly we do have policies in place regarding safety procedures in school and banning weapons and so forth. In talking to police and some of the leadership of my association, they're basically saying that the recommendation right now is that even though this was a communication that came out to the commissioner or the governor, that any change of any law has to come to the legislature. So there's a lot of discussion taking place on that. So they said before you enact anything or change anything, you need to wait till legislation takes place, because some of the announcement that came from the commissioner or the governor's office was contradictory to some of the laws that are in place for concealed weapons. So, we adhere to safety in our school. We have policies in place already to protect against the weapon piece, but we are going to be paying very close attention starting in November to what's going to take place in the legislature regarding the commissioner's announcements and the fact that, there is a proactive movement about a follow-up to this announcement. But right now, my association is waiting on hold to see what happens in the legislature.
To clarify, when you say that we have, what do we currently do?
So we don't have anything that protects against
Concealed carry.
concealed carry, right? And so the discussions that came up in my association was that it's a question that's got to go through legislature, because some of the scenarios that were raised, that if there's, and they quoted something like over 700 licenses in the state of Rhode Island, and one of the questions is that if there was an emergency at school and someone came, that concealed, they can't just leave a firearm in a vacant car and go to a building to pick up a child, because then they're violating another law, which is having a firearm in an unoccupied car. So they said there's so many laws that are in place that they really need to kind of go through and legislature, through legislature, kind of clean up and say when it's going to eventually be the law that'll be in place. So, we do support, obviously, the safety piece. There are, if there was an issue where someone identified firearm, even with a license, they would probably, advise a person that, there are procedures or policies in place about carrying, and maybe looking for an alternative way of assisting that person. So we've talked about strategy with some of the superintendents and what you would do if that was encountered in the building. Not that they would necessarily be breaking law, but looking for a way of, making sure that the building is safe. And it doesn't apply, obviously, to law enforcement or security. So that's what I have right now. It's more of a stay tuned. As my association updates us, I can provide updates to the community.
Well, what we have done as a committee is to pass a resolution in support of legislation banning concealed carry.
To support these.
So at least we're on.
Right, this committee has.
Yeah.
Right, we've done it for the past 2 years.
multiple times.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
It's not
as the memo from the commissioners points out, we don't allow concealed carry in our courthouses, at our state universities, at our state colleges, or other government buildings, so it's, to my mind, it's a little incongruous.
And that's the part where if somebody leaving something in the car, they have to do that in all those other situations. So why is a elementary school somehow different in that regard?
It's on the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just,
Right.
it's in the sense of common sense discussion, it kind of flies out the window a little bit.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you for the update.
Yeah.